Yo, what's up, boys and girls? It is Pika calling in from Singapore. We are just within Sunday night. I think it's a Sunday night, right? Yeah, man, it's still Sunday night. Um, and that wraps up another week. I'm looking at episode 63 over here. Man, I have come. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at episode 63. Pretty soon it'll be episode 100 something. I got a ways to go, I know. It's another 2 months down the line. Anyway, let's see. Today, we had East Coast. I got a lot done today, man. I got up in the morning, did laundry, made breakfast, fixed the house up. My mom left today, so I'm a little sad, a little bit. I'm trying really hard not to dwell on that shit, but yeah, it's always good when mommy's home, and when she goes, obviously a little bit saddened, house a little more empty. You're reminded that there's not enough people in the house. Anyway, so let's start at the beginning, right? So got up in the morning, did laundry, did all that stuff, got baby girl breakfast, did her hair again, something real quick. And then, let's see, got dressed for work, went to work. It was supposed to be a workshop over at East Coast, the office in East Coast, but there wasn't anyone signed up. But then again, we didn't want to leave the office empty just in case someone stopped by. So I went over there. We were over at East Coast by about, 12:45, something like that. Trying to get there like an hour ahead of time just in case someone comes in early. So I was there already, turned on all the lights, the AC, set everything up. We're ready. We're sitting, waiting. I brought Guysby with me today because yesterday I kind of finished late and I wasn't sure if I was going to end up late or not today, and I didn't want to run the risk of her being with my mom and then she had to run off to the airport and then there's no way for me to get to her in time and do the handoff. So I took her to work with me today. We actually worked on a lot of homeschool stuff today with her while I was waiting for people to show up. No one showed up, but that's all good too. We took some pictures once my boss came in and talked about the week coming up and things we wanted to get done, and then we were done. So she dropped me at home and I was able to help my mom with some stuff. Now Gayatri has school pictures tomorrow, and of course they wait till the last minute, like Thursday of last week or something, to tell me, hey, by the way, we need you to buy white shoes for the picture. I'm thinking, damn, white shoes. I hate white shoes because white shoes get so dirty. The kids these days, at their age, all they want to do is kick shit. So we'll be washing shoes like forever. Anyway, I ran once I got home, and my mom had to go to the temple anyway, so I ran to go get white shoes. Got that shit done, got back in time. We got back to the house at 5:30. My mom's supposed to be at the airport by 6. So anyway, we jumped in a cab. I carried everything down for my mom and went to the airport. Got to the airport, my mom wasn't feeling so good. She feels a little bit weak, lightheaded, and I'm trying to, get her to be calm and feel a little bit better. She's really cold, so we went and got coffee, went to Old Town in Terminal 3 and got some coffee. We had some noodles because the guy was hungry already, so we had kind of like a mock dinner, I guess. Once we got to the airport, got her checked in, had dinner, and then walked her to the gate by 7 because the flight leaves at 8. So walked her to the gate, said goodbyes, and then we headed back home. And we got into a debate about whether or not to do her hair for real, for the picture tomorrow, or if I leave it in 2 long braids like I have them right now. Long story short, we decided, yeah, we're not going to fuss and fight over how long it's going to take her. You know me, I've talked to you about this before. If I do her hair, it takes a minimum 3 hours at least. And if it's something that's not super complicated. Because I need to wash her hair, I need to do it while it's wet. If it starts drying, I need to wet it again so that it doesn't pull her hair out of her head. She doesn't scream at me the whole damn time. So it is kind of time intensive, and by the time we got on the train, even close to being back home, it was like 8 something already. So you think about that. If I were to come home by, let's say for shits and giggles, we get here at 9, right? I give her a bath, wash her hair. That's going to take at least a half an hour. It's 9:30. Sit down to do her hair while I put a movie in a minimum 3 hours. Man, she ain't going to get up tomorrow morning. She's going to give me hell tomorrow morning. So I was like, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's leave it like it is. I know it's not perfect. I know it's not the kind of picture you want to be taking tomorrow, but I guarantee you it's better than what's going to happen if we don't. If we try and do that right now. If we force the system and try and get that done. So I was like, you know what? We're just not going to do that. So of course she, had a fit, and she was like, ready to kick shit and push me and whatever. So me being the mom that I am, and I can't stand being in conflict with anyone, and I'm going to try and make it better. So what I did was, we stopped at Next, right, because we had to pick up a bus from Next. So stopped at Next, went to Boost, and got a smoothie. And you know what? The smoothie killed everything. Everything was fine. So we had a smoothie, enjoyed the smoothie, got on the bus, got back home, and I swear within like 10 minutes of taking a shower and getting to bed, she was asleep. Because she was tired already, man. She was falling asleep on the cab to the airport. So yeah, I know that girl was tired. She's just fighting it. Because she can. Alright, so that was the day in a nutshell. I caught up with my cousin who's out in university in Melbourne. Shout out to Shaniza. Yeah, she's doing a damn thing. She's doing a double major right now. And I'm super proud of that girl. She's doing everything by herself. You know, like just managing. Like, okay, I'll put it to you this way. When I was in college, yeah, I was by myself. I didn't have my mom holding my hand or nothing. I didn't come home every night. But the thing is, I was still in the vicinity. I was still in the same country as my mom. So if I really needed to, I could call her. I didn't have to worry about, time difference. I could go home on the weekends if I wanted to. I could ask her to come see me. All that shit would have been easy. This girl is in Melbourne. Her family is in Singapore. They are 2 hours ahead of us. And I'm telling you, I'm super proud. I don't know if I could have done that in another country. It was hard enough just being, in another town. Anyway. Caught up with her. It took me, we talked for like 2.5 hours just now. I think I fell asleep twice and got back up and said goodbye twice and then ended up talking for another hour after that. It was just typical Sri Lankan goodbye. Anyway, so got off the phone with her and I was like, shit, I haven't done my audio. So I'm here talking to you right now and I really want to talk to you about the word regulate. To regulate your schedule mostly. Because honestly, I don't like being an adult and I need a schedule still. I need things in their time and place. If for nothing else, then it makes my life easier. I know I could wing it all day long, but if I don't get used to doing things at a certain time, chances are I won't get them done, or I won't get them done well, or I'll forget about them, or, 100 other different things. So seriously, I need a schedule. So regulate, that's the word for today. I want to regulate whatever it is I'm doing. I got into a situation a little while ago where I was caught up talking to somebody and I would talk to them like for hours on end and forget everything else. Whereas before I met that person and started talking to him, it was like I had nothing else, right? I was super boring and just ridiculously square. And I would basically go to work, come home, make dinner, watch TV with the kid, and then as soon as she went to bed, I'd start doing all my work. So then I'd do, the audios, I would work on my blog, I'd work on my website, I'd do all these things. I would take classes. You guys, you have no idea how many fucking webinars I signed up for, free webinars that I'd sign up for, and I would go to sleep, and I would set my alarm to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because the fucking webinar is set up in the States somewhere. Wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to, like, bleary-eyed listen to some woman rant about, I don't know, sales funnels and Facebook ads and whatever else they had going on. And I did that, man. I did that without fail, without question, without compromise. I did that. And then I met this person. I started talking to them, and then I didn't do none of that shit. And I could have. I so could have. I could have said no, but I couldn't say no. It was so much fun talking to this person. It was so much fun, like, getting to know somebody else from another part of the world, their point of view, sharing your life story, sharing their life story, getting to know that there is some other person out there who is just like you, whereas you thought you were like some weird anomaly that never occurred anywhere else in the world. And it was so cool. I had so much fun. But the point is, I fucked up my schedule on purpose, consciously, and said it was okay to do that. And that's actually not okay. I want to be in a position where I regulated my schedule to the point that I know exactly what I need to do, when I need to do it, without question, without fail, without compromise. Get it done, okay, and still have time for a social life if I choose. Now, it had never occurred to me that I could actually have a social life. Yes, I am that nerd. I have no life. It didn't occur to me that I could have a social life. So this whole experience has taught me, hey, you know what? You probably need to make room for this as well, because eventually you will. And when you do, you still need to get all your work done. So it's kind of like entrepreneurship 101. Regulate your schedule. So in the event that, not in the event, at some point I will no longer have a 9 to 5 where I'm obligated to meet in the morning or in the after, wherever. I'm not obligated to meet anywhere at any particular time because someone else told me to. It would be my business, so if someone else makes an appointment with me, I would have to keep that appointment. It's not like I'm meeting my boss because my boss depends on me and that's the only way I get a paycheck. Does that make sense? So, as an entrepreneur, I need to be disciplined enough, dedicated enough to my business to actually put aside times of the day where these things need to get done. Because if I don't do it, there's no one holding me accountable. I would just fail, very simply put. And that's not a bad thing, but that also does not put me any further than I was yesterday. If that makes sense. Okay? So with that being said, I am back on the grind, trying to figure out my sleep schedule, trying to figure out my eating schedule. Excuse me, speaking of sleep schedule, right? Okay, so trying to figure out my sleep, trying to figure out when I eat, how I eat, if I can put in a workout somewhere, if I can make sure that I spend quality time with my daughter before she goes to sleep and then still get my work done. So that is a lot of stuff that I need to figure out. And no one's going to do that for me. No one's going to hold my hand and be like, you know what, Pika, let's talk about your progress. You're coming up on a month into the business now, and these are the things I know. No one's going to do that. I am the fucking CEO of my company. If I don't sit down and figure this shit out, I fail. It's very simple. I will fail. Or at the very least, I will become stagnant and not move anywhere. And that's, I don't know if that's worse than failing or not. I think it's worse than failing. I want to be moving forward at some point. I would rather make 100 mistakes in a day than say, hey, you know what? You were here yesterday, weren't you? And you haven't moved forward. You haven't posted anything. You haven't done anything. You haven't commented. You haven't done shit. So what are you doing with your life? So, yeah. Actually, failing is a whole lot better than being stagnant. And that's something I will not tolerate. So there is a pain point for me. I know what it's like to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm tired, I'll just do it tomorrow. I know what that's like. I am procrastination central over here most days, and I can be lazy as hell. So if I don't get it done, that's on me. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, regulate. I'm trying to make it so that certain times of the day are conducive to whatever my mood is. Like I said, I'm Pisces. I go with the flow. I'm like the wind, I change a lot. So there really is no time that can really honestly pinpoint, but if I set it up in such a way that most of this particular kind of work is done at this particular kind of day, then I can make myself get used to it and get better at getting stuff done. The point is to figure out what kind of person you are. Are you a night person? Are you a morning person? When do you do your best thinking? Like, honestly, for me, if I'm going to do stuff where I have to sit behind a computer and not move around, the best time for me to do that shit is in the morning. So as soon as I wake up, once I, get baby girl out to school, whatever, once I come back home, the best time for me to sit down and write blog posts, okay? Post into Instagram, because I have to actually think about, I'm not going to plan this shit out ahead in advance. I know I could use buffer.com. I know I can use Planoly or whatever all that shit is. Yeah, I could plan it out ahead of time, but I am a Pisces. I want to tell you how I feel the moment that I feel it. And I feel like it's a little more genuine if I do it that way. If I plan it out a week ahead of time, I don't know. By the time I come to Thursday and Thursday's post doesn't feel like what I feel that day, I wouldn't feel right about posting it anyway. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to do, it may be what's known as the Minikatan Batan way of doing things. Fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway, okay? So, things like emails, things like blog posts, things like Instagram, where I actually need to sit down and create a piece of visual something with a caption that's relevant and possibly a blog post that goes with it. That kind of stuff is best done, in my opinion, for me in the morning, okay? The other time that would be best to do it is also at night, but I'm better talking to people at night, which means if I have clients in the US, that would be really conducive to them to talk in the morning or in the evening, and I would like to plan my social stuff more in the evening. I'm still debating, the jury's out, whether I should work out early morning before I start my day, or if I should work out just before I go to sleep to help me sleep. So right now, because I'm super sleepy, I'm going to go with in the morning, but that doesn't mean it might not change tomorrow. So yes, working out is definitely a part of the game plan. I just haven't figured out what kind of workout I want to do, and I haven't figured out when I want to do it. So that's something else I need to work out. Haha, workout. You can tell I'm delirious. I'm just super sleepy right now. Okay, so we've talked about office type work, as in like secretarial, running of errands, keeping up with, admin stuff. All that stuff is really good in the morning for me, okay? Creative stuff can happen at any time. It's actually one of those bolts of lightning types things. So if it hits, I need to have pen and paper near me at all times so I can catch that feeling in lead, and then I can actually expound on it later if I have time to sit down and talk or write about it. So yeah, these are the kinds of things that I'm looking at right now. Entrepreneurial issues 101, because if you are not in control of your schedule, chances are you're not going to succeed very far, or go very far. You would succeed eventually, but I mean, you're not going to go very far. And I'm a big believer in something that Gary also talks about, being fast in the micro. Like the day-to-day stuff, you need to get shit tossed off your list all day long, every day. And obviously those little things every day may not mean much on the big scale, on the macro, but it does move your business forward. So I've seen this in stuff outside of my own business as well. So I told you I go to classes with Growth Tribe, right? And I know that they teach us more about, social marketing, planning, Facebook ads, how to, get engagement, how to get reach, how to get the ideal customers eyeball, basically, right? So they've taught me all of those things. And what I found is when they give me homework, if I do it that day or the next day, that gives them time to actually look over what I've sent, and they can tweak whatever it is, and then we're ready for the next lesson. Now, the same thing goes for school. If you were to go to school, they give you homework, you don't do your homework before the next class, obviously that slows you down. But if you get it done, it means that you're ready to tackle the next thing. You're ready to tackle whatever it is they're about to throw at you next. So that has actually been proven in the Growth Tribe lessons as well as in my own business. So if I didn't do the audio every night, I can't stand here today talking about, 63 episodes later, Pika is still going strong. You know what I mean? Regulate, you guys. Your business in your hands, okay? There's no one that you can answer to. There's no one you can go and ask for help. And it's actually a very, very difficult and exciting position to be in. The buck stops here. The buck stops with me. I don't have anyone to go and ask for help. I don't have anyone to go and ask for advice. I am the CEO of my life, of my company, of my brand. If I don't know what the fuck to do with this stuff, chances are it's just not going to get done. And eventually, when I want to have like employees and stuff, that's not going to look so good. I'm not going to be the kind of leader that they will need to help them help me get to where I need to be next. Okay? So the discipline of regulating your schedule, man, I can't make this point clear enough. I can't emphasize it enough. Regulate your schedule, you guys. That includes the sleep, that includes eating, that includes take a shower at some point, and that includes scheduling some time for yourself, because you can't be go, go, go all the time. I'm telling you can't. You know why I'm telling you? Because I've been doing it. Oh my God, I've been doing it. And, I am grateful for the fact that the relationship that I was talking about earlier kind of just fell off the face of the planet all of a sudden. Not to say that I don't miss this person. I miss the hell out of them, okay? I'm not lying. I do miss the hell out of them. But the point is, obviously the universe is telling me, you know what? Whoa. I'm glad y'all got along, and I'm glad, you shared so much, and it was just awesome. But you know what? You got some shit that's starting to slide, so you can't afford to do that. Let me take this person out for a second. Let me put him on the bench for a second. And as devastating as that was, I think it's the best thing that could have happened to me. I think that right now, I need to focus. So if I need to wait 3 days or 3 years or whatever, to get my shit together, man, I better be moving in the meantime, Don't sit still. Don't twiddle your thumbs. Just sit on your ass. Just get up. Go get something done. Get them done. Okay? Regulate your schedule, you guys. Regulate your schedule. Because routine makes habits easy to form. Routine makes it easy for you to fall into step with the plans that you have. You need to have a plan. I told you the other day, right? If you know you need to get to the front door from your room, and that is the plan. You have to get to the front door from your room. Nothing. If you stepped on Lego along the way, if you slipped on a marble along that, trust me, I've done all this stuff in the last couple of days, so I'm telling you. So if you step on Lego or slip on a marble along the way, you're not going to detour. You're not going to stop and look at what the hell is going on with your life. You're not going to turn and change directions. You're going to still find a way to hobble your ass to the front door. Right? So be clear on your goal. What is it you want? At the end of the day, at the end of 5 years, at the end of whatever. What is it you want? And if you are super clear on what you want, it should be no trouble at all to figure out how to regulate your schedule to get you to where you need to be. Right? Am I right? It does take some doing. Action takes effort. They say energy is neither created nor destroyed. So that means you have to figure out where the energy is you're going to pull from so that you can get up off your ass and get that shit done, because I guarantee you the first step is the hardest. I can't tell you how many times I went back and forth about whether I was going to start this podcast or not, and then I was finally like, you know what, let's fucking do it. Fuck it, just do it. And that's why I started with the intro. If you remember all the way at the beginning, I did not start with episode 1. I started with an intro about what I wanted this podcast to be about. I wanted you to know what my life was like. I wanted you to know the things that I have to go through. The little things, the stupid things, whatever. And then I want to talk to you about how I feel about this journey. So as these lessons pop up for me, I'm telling you right off the cuff, this is what's going on. I don't know what I'm going to talk about on these podcasts until about, let me be real. I don't know about it until maybe 15 minutes before I start. And most of the time it's because I have to put in the hashtag Night Owl, episode number, blah, blah, whatever. And then I need to give it a caption. And the caption part, be messing with me. I don't know what to put down sometimes. It's all good though. I'm getting better at it. So seriously, I had fallen asleep after my conversation with my cousin. Get up all panicked and be like, oh my God, I haven't done my podcast. I had to go scroll through my Facebook feed, my Facebook business page feed, to find out what the last episode number was so I don't renumber it like stupid or whatever. And then is when I started thinking about, fuck, what am I going to talk about today? It's easy to talk about my day and what I did. But then at some point there has to be some kind of inspiration. There has some kind of lesson, something that shows you that, you know what, I'm still thinking about my business. I'm just not recapping every little detail that I did. For me right now, the epiphany was, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. So everything happens for the best. Okay? And right now, I feel in my gut like I am meant to get back to the basics so that I can be the best that I can be. You talk about, okay, let's talk about sports for a second. You talk about, you take a team, a coach takes a team and trying to make them a championship team or whatever. And most times they let them run a couple drills, to test them out to see where everyone's skill level is like. And then when the work starts, they go back to basics. They go back to how to handle a ball if it's basketball, okay? Ball handling skills, passing, dribbling, free throws, over and over again, all these like basic skills. And then they do conditioning, right? Strength and conditioning. They do suicides. They do up downs. They do, I don't know all that much about basketball. They do stuff. Agility drills. They do ball handling drills. They do, chest passes to your teammates or whatever. They do all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to think of all the things that Coach Carter had in the movie. But the thing is, they go back to basics. And I feel like regulating your schedule is kind of like going back to basics. You go back to the things that are bare essential in your business and in your life. Things you have to get done. And then little by little, as those things become second nature and really, really easy, because when things become second nature and very easy, they take less effort, they take less time to complete, and suddenly you have more time freed up, right? Obviously, the first time you cook a meal, you're going to go back to that recipe 10,000 times to read it over again and make sure you read it correctly, and then measure out super carefully instead of eyeballing stuff. And it's going to take you 10 years, or so it will feel, to make pancakes in the morning. But the more you do that stuff, man, the more you do that stuff. Let's say, okay, in reality, let's say it takes half an hour to make pancakes. Okay, because you're following the recipe. You're like doing it by the book. You've never done it before. You're measuring stuff out like perfectly. And then you're taking your time to, to mix and get the heat just right so you don't burn one side of the pancakes. So let's say the first time you did it's 30 minutes. And as you get to do that, if you were to do it every day, that skill set would become better and better and better. And by the time you got to, let's say you started on a Monday, and by the time you get to the following Sunday, it don't take you 30 minutes no more. It takes you maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most to make pancakes, which means what? You just freed up 20 minutes, possibly, to do something else. So you start with the basics. Do the things, the bare minimum things that you have to do every day. Do them every day. Do them every day. Figure out what time of day that you need to do them so that, it's the best for you. You're utilizing whatever mood you're in to get that stuff done. And once you're done with that, You keep doing it every day, every day, every day. Pound it. Make sure you do it every day. And as you get along in your journey, you will find that it gets less and less time to do those things. It's almost like a no-brainer. When you wake up, suddenly your mind is already in that mood. It's already in that, okay, what do I need to do? What do you need to create? What do you need to like put up there or whatever? So when you do all those things and you get faster at it, you free up more time. The things that used to take half an hour take 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You got 20 minutes more. And as you go along, you're learning stuff, right? You're always learning. You're always consuming other people's content, because that's part of the game, right? You create content, you consume other people's content. You go and see who else is talking the same shit you were talking. You see if anyone else can give you new ideas. I was listening to Simon Sinek video on YouTube today. Oh my God, that man is freaking genius. And the way he puts things, like lights go on and off in my head all day long when I'm listening to him. It's amazing. Anyways, that's another episode. But the point is, you consume and you're learning new stuff. So as you go along, you do your basics. And when you know better, you do better. You change the way you do things. You see if it works. You test it out, and see if the engagement on the new way is better or whatever. And you keep on going. So regulate, you guys. Get the basics down. Go back to basics. Go back to one-a-days. And when you get really good at it, you can do two-a-days because it'll get faster, right? All right, so I'm going to leave you with this. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate the fact that you're still with me, if you are. I don't even know who you are. But if you're with me, thank you, God. I really appreciate it. I am grateful for the fact that life throws me curveballs all the time. And I appreciate that, because obviously I was just fine before I met this person. And then I met this person and things changed. And then that person disappeared and things changed again. So obviously change is the only constant in my life. But the fact is, I will continue to bounce back. Yeah, I'm going to get caught up in my emotions a little bit. I'm still human. My heart works. That's why I keep caught up. Okay? But the fact is, I'm not going to stay down for long, because there are people depending on me. I have a little girl who's depending on me. If I don't make it, she doesn't make it. You got me? You hear me? If I don't make it, she doesn't make it. If I burn out, there's no one else. There's no one else to take my place. So I need to regulate my schedule. I need to take care of me a little bit. I need to make sure that I put my business first, just like my boss is putting her business first. Yeah, I'm building someone else's dream in the daytime. But at night, that's my time. I do me at night. I make sure that mine is taken care of at night. Because no one else is going to do that shit for me. I don't know about you, but no one else is going to do that shit for me. You hear me? Regulate your schedule. Get something down. Something simple. Something that allows you to change with the times if you need to. But just get it down and start something. I'm a damn sure try. I need to start working out tomorrow. And I'm trying to figure out which of my many beach body workouts am I going to start. Or am I just going to start one of those Pinterest workouts? I don't know. Holler at me, let me know what you think. Should I do P90X? Should I do Insanity? Should I do should I do the 21-day fix? Should I do the Brazilian butt lift? Anyway, whatever. I'm gonna try something. Something is going down tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get something started. Yeah. All right, you guys, that's enough of that rant, I guess. I could go on. I'm telling you, I could go on. But I will save some for tomorrow. So y'all take care. Get ready to start your week. Be smart. Be compassionate. Take your time. Be patient. Good things take time, you guys. Good things take time. All right, I'll holler. Bye.